Hey guys, welcome to a special episode of Burnout's Hot Rod Shop. On this episode, I sold my 2014 Victory Cross Country to my brother-in-law Alex. So we're going to make the road trip back from Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, all the way in the heart of the Poconos, and go all the way back to South Bend, Indiana. 622 miles, basically straight across I-80. And then once we get there, we're going to go to Shipshewana, which is the Midwest's largest flea market. So maybe you'll see a little bit of video of me riding, but the majority is going to be what we pick up at Shipshewana. But I'll be taking this Victory across. The wife will be taking the Navigator. So it's going to be a fun one, and we'll check out what I find at Shipshewana. So I made it back from Indiana. You saw some of the video of me riding in the rain. If you don't ride in the rain, do you really ride? I've got some really cool stuff. It's all laid out here on the table. I'll give you a shot of all of it together, and then we'll get into the details of what's here. But I've got a lot of Craftsman, because you know me, I pick it up. I've got some tool truck stuff. I've got some Proto stuff, some Williams stuff. I grabbed a mystery bag of sockets, all kinds of really cool stuff. Let me get this camera flipped around, and I'll show you guys what we got going on. So this is the all of it, guys. We'll get on the mount, and I'll show you all these pieces and what's going on with them. But I just wanted you to see the entirety of what's here. All right, so I'm going to start off with this guy. So this is I picked this up at an estate sale, and I picked it up for my son. These are, it's an 8-piece Italian wood rasp set made in China. Doesn't sound real Italian, but it's these types of rasps which work really well. We are working that father-son project you saw a while back, the old school monkey wrench with the perfect handle scales, and it has some cutouts on the inside of the scales. So these will help him out with that. And they were just part of an estate sale haul where I took a whole bag of stuff up, and they told me $15. So no real single price on this, but definitely cool. Next up, at another estate sale, I got these 3 clamps. These are great for welding. You can set them up, get close, and then you can dial in exactly what you need just by turning this guy. So I always pick these up when I see them. They were $2 a piece, and I got 3 of them. Definitely worth the $6. Let's see. Let's start off. We'll go up here to the SK. So I found these at a flea market. And it's a 15/16 of 1 inch SK, 12-point double box, slide offset. And these are from a flea market in Elkhart, Indiana. This one looks like we've got a 5/8 SK, a C20. A little crusty, but it's 50 cents. Most of the things from there were either 50 cents or they were half off. And it was the same vendor. Basically, he had 3 different booths. And one of the booths, he kept things full priced and then just went half off on it. And the other 2 booths, everything was already marked at what that half off was. Now we will jump into the Industrios. So these sockets came in the mystery bag. All the loose sockets that you'll see came in this mystery bag. And it was a $10 bag. I figured, why not? And it's a Durachrome 15/16 12 point. And a Durachrome spark plug socket. If we stay in that Duro Industrial theme, we've got this 3/8 select steel. This one is an industrial marked, and it's a 7/16 by 3/8. Really nice and clean. And here's another Forge Select Steel, 1/2 inch. And this one's marked as a Westline. And then finally in the Industrials, we've got this 4-angle wrench, and it's a 1/2 inch by 7/16. This one is Durachrome. Again, more of the 50-cent stuff. One thing I didn't tell you guys, when I went to the Shipshewana flea market, which is what I mentioned when I was loading the bike up, that thing has really changed over the years. I didn't buy anything there, and I kept calling it Amish Temu. It's in Amish country, and everything there was new. I wouldn't recommend stopping there. It still advertises as the largest flea market in the Midwest, but it's all just new Temu-looking junk. I was not impressed at all, and I grew up going to that one and loved it. It used to be about 1/3 of it was new stuff, and the rest was vintage, and there were maybe 2 vintage booths there with tools. Maybe 4 total vintage booths. But we went to a bunch of other flea markets. This is a Barcelo Buffalo. And what do we have? I gotta flip this one over. Yep, 25-30 seconds by 3/4. And I like these Barcelo Buffaloes. I always love these auto wrenches. This one's a Barcelo Buffalo. And it's a 9/16 by 1/2. And the 1/2 is the box end. And this is my favorite wrench pattern for Barcelo Buffalo. And this one is an 11/16 by 19-30 seconds. I just like that almost X-frame bridging down the center. It reminds me of the X series of Bridgeport wrenches that I don't find very often, but I do collect. So we've done the SKs already. We've done all that stuff. Oh, when we did the SKs, we didn't do these. So here we've got a deep socket. Again, it was in that $10 bag. It's a 9/16, and it does have the through hole. Here we've got an 11mm SK, and it's a 6-point, 3/8 drive. Next up is this 3/4, 12-point 1/2 inch drive. And then this deep well 7/16, 3/8 drive, 6-point. I think this will work in the SK box that I picked up in the cantilevered box episode. Actually, I think that both those deep ones may work in there. Let's see, we talked about those already. 2 more sockets that I picked up. We've got this Challenger by Proto. And it's a 3/4. And this Challenger, Proto, and it's a 5/8. Grabbed another new group of sockets over here. And these are all Husky. So it's a 15/16 Husky USA. That one's not a Husky. We'll grab that one in a minute. This one is a Master Mechanic USA, and it's a 10 millimeter. And it was a New Britain, so I put it with the SKs, or sorry, with the Huskies. Here we've got a 7/16 Husky USA, 3/8 drive, 6-point. And a 9/16 USA, 3/8 drive, 12-point. And finally, an oddball socket that was over there. We've got this Bonnie, 41/16, which is a 1/2 inch. And it's a 1/2 inch drive by 1/2 inch 8-point. I knew there was something unique about it, and I couldn't remember what it was. Let's go up here. These are the sockets that will go in my dollar bin. Or actually, I'll put this whole bag together for $5 probably. There are some Husky and Cobalt Asia market ones, along with a bunch of Taiwan and Japan, just generically marked. But this was the bag. It was bulging, and it was $10. And then this booth was half off. I didn't tell you that earlier either. This was a different flea market, but it was half off. So it was $5 for that bag full of sockets. And those are also came in it. We'll get to those here in a minute. They had this socket rail in the same booth for $5. And it's a Husky USA rail. And that gets us from 13/16 down to 3/8, a spark plug socket, and a small extension. And all of that's Husky USA. And that was $5. I didn't think that was too bad. We'll grab the Road King. So I did pick this guy up. He has a $5 tag on him. After selling the Victory, my primary bike will be my 2011 Road King. So I saw this one. Not sure that it says a year. The 118th. No, it's from 1997, so this would be an Evo Road King, but similar to my Road King. Next up, we will grab these Williams sockets. These were the last of the sockets that were in that $10 bag. Well, $5 bag. Here we've got this Williams Deep. And it's an SD 1220, which is 5/8 by 1/2 inch drive and 12-point. Here we've got a Williams 15/16, 12-point. These are all 1/2 inch drive. Williams 1 inch, 6-point, a little crusty, but it'll clean up. And a 15/16, the more block logo Williams, 6-point. As we stay in the Williams stuff, this is a Diamond W, 25/32 by 11/16, 12-point, double box, offset. So 5/8 by 9/16, super wrench, 12-point with no offset. Here we've got a number 4723, 7/16 by 3/8, 12-point, and it is the Diamond W style. And we grabbed a 5/8 combination wrench, 12-point, super wrench, of course. And then a 3/8 12-point super wrench. And then finally, We got this double open tappet wrench. So it is a 1 1/16 by 7/8, and it's a super wrench as well. There's the number on it, 1096H. This one I thought was neat because it was the thinner tappet wrench style. Next, we've got this box of sockets. I picked this up at a flea market in South Bend, Indiana. And these are all Sparta. That's a 13/16, half-inch drive, and they're all 12 points. Look like they've never been used. We go from 9/16 on the small side to 1 inch on the big side. Still in the tin, kind of like, gosh, I forget who it was. I've been binging since I've been out of town. Been binging all of the videos, but I can't remember who it was. But they asked if they had a problem with boxes, and I may have a little bit of problem with boxes myself, because I had to have it. And make sure you stick around, guys. We're going to jump into some Craftsman stuff. I've got some Proto stuff. I got some tool truck stuff. So lots of goodies still coming along. Into the Craftsman side, I picked up these staples with the Crown logo, and it's full. I picked up these 1/4 inch wire staples with the 90s logo. It's full. And then I did pick up, this was part of the $15 that I was telling you about from the one estate sale. This is a router edge guide, and it's still in the box. All the pieces are there. And there's actually the special order label where they ordered it in. Thought that was kind of cool. I picked this up with the welding clamps. It was $1. Nice little robo grip. This one has tape on it. I'll get that out of there. This was just a nice, clean Phillips screwdriver. It's the P2 made in USA. Western Forge. Just nice and clean. Just needs a little touch up on the shaft. And that one will look really good. I actually have a plastic bubble pack that I haven't shown you guys. Not sure if that auction will come up or not. There's really only 2 things in it. That I picked it up for a couple dollars, and this is the one size that was missing. All the other ones are still sealed. Someone had pried the one corner open and taken one screwdriver out, and then replaced it with a smaller screwdriver. So this one will probably go in that kit. This guy I picked up at Restore in Goshen, Indiana. It was $5. And this is the bit with the single shaft and the interchangeable spades. And it has all the pieces. Needs a tub of towels taken to it, but that'll clean up really nice. I think this one's nicer than the one I currently have, so this one may go in my collection. The one I currently have may actually be missing, like the little wrench. But it's in really good shape. They wanted $5 for this. Couldn't say no. And as we go down the Craftsman, these are up here at the top. These are all Flying V. So we've got a 9/16, 5/8 double box. We've got a 5/8 combination wrench. Again, the Flying V. This one I just thought was really clean. It's a 7/16. It's the Flying V. Now these two are interesting. They're the same size. So it's a 9/16 by 1/2 inch. When we flip this one over, it is the double line or Flying V. And when I flip this one over, it's the double line double V. So it needs cleaned up a little bit, but it was 50 cents, and I was not going to pass that up. I have one or two other with the double line, double V. That's, with all the wrenches I found, I do not find those very often at all. And this was another 50-cent wrench. It's a Dunlop 3/4 by 7/8, in really nice shape. I'll put that in with my Dunlops. Now we get into the 1945 to 1948 double line no V. So you can see it's forged in USA, a double line 1 inch by 15/16, and then Craftsman on that side like you'd expect to see. Like I say, they made these from 45 to 48. This one was marked at $3 and then was half off, so it made it $1.50. But these are what I collect for myself. The box behind me that you guys see in my lead-in, the silver and red box, is all Flying V. And then what I keep for my own kind of next level collection is anything double line no V and older. So this goes with to me, the really old stuff. That's a 1/2 inch 9/16. And then these were all marked $2, so I got them for $1 a piece. And we've got the 3/4. So I would count backwards in my head by 16ths. So that's a 12, an 11/16. Got the 5/8, which is 10/16. No 9/16. But we do have the 1/2 inch. So close to a pretty good set. And then we've got another 11/16 because I don't pass these guys up. So that's all the Craftsman stuff I managed to pick up. Let's move on to this guy. This one I just thought was neat. It says National something. I can't really read that. It's a battery plier. And it's no slide or anything because it's a battery plier. But you've got the little hammer edge on the side for tapping down battery terminals. So I thought that was cool, and it was in a dollar bin, so I picked it up. Move on to the tool truck pieces. These two screwdrivers I picked up. This one, if you can see that, is a Torx. And it's a Matco T20. For usability, this is my favorite handle from the tool trucks. I just have always liked this. Mac and Matco both had this exact same screwdriver. They made them, I know in the 80s, I'm not sure about the 70s, but it was kind of part of those split tools when they split. And you can get the same screwdriver that says Mac or Matco. And then this one, that edge is really nice. It's long. It's a carburetor screwdriver. And let's see. There it is. And this one is also a Matco. So with those, actually I think I have somewhere here. And that one's actually a Matco too. This one's a scraper. This one is my dad's. And somehow, when we were working on one of my cars before I moved from Indiana, it went into my toolbox. So I've got a drawer over here with 4 tools, I think, that are his. That's one of them. But these, I got them with the Craftsman multi-headed spade bit. That was $5. They weigh these at that restore. So they threw them on a scale and then rang it up with a price. With tax and everything, I paid $6.15 total. So these came in at under $1 before tax for the pair of them. And then finally, for tool trucks, We've got this snap-on underline logo. It's an S8366, and that I, the square I like that, means it's 1961. This is a torque multiplier with an offset. Yeah, there, pull to 2/3, desired torque. We don't have a size on here. I'm not sure what it is, so I looked this up. And this is kind of cool. This is for Nash and Rambler for the lower control arms. So they're for torquing the lower control arms and not hitting any of the steering components. So definitely cool. This was from the place where a lot of stuff was 50 cents. It was a different vendor. The guy had a lot of stuff in there marked for $3, and this was one of the $3 pieces. So I was more than happy to pick this guy up for $3. So now we move on to the last grouping, and it is the Proto family stuff. So let's save those for down the line. We'll start off with this guy. This one is a 3/8 by 5/16 double open Proto. Picked up two 6-point Flea double boxes. And we've got the 7/16 and 3/8, and then the 5/8 by 1/4. And these are in the same bin. I think they were marked $1 each. So I was happy to pay $1 each for these. They're cool being 6 points. This was from that same place. I think this one was $4. And it's a Challenger by Proto. Nice round head. Moves really well. In really nice shape. And then I picked up this screwdriver. Actually, at one of the flea markets I went to twice. When I went back, I looked in a different bin. They had a bunch of drywall tools. And this was underneath the drywall tools. So it came home with me. And I picked up this guy. And he's one of the green-handled Protos. And it's a 1383 Proto, manufactured USA. These heads are changeable, but these look to be in pretty good shape, so I don't even think I'm going to need to change them yet. Clean up the handle a little bit. Nothing major, just a good wipe down. Maybe oil it. Seems to be fairly well oiled, but maybe give it a fresh coat. Clean up some of the finish, and that one will be good to go into the box. Here I picked up this adjustable volt check. It works really well. That's that script volt check logo. Cleveland, USA. And this is from when the parent company of Proto owned Volcheck, and they used the click stop technology that you normally see on Protos in the Volcheck adjustable. So that's the first one of these Volchecks I've found from those Proto years that give you the click stop. And then finally, as I was walking out of the one flea market, the guy who I got a lot of this 50-cent stuff from, he had these on his shelf for $1.50, and I couldn't say no. So this is the 3714 Pebble Proto, 7/16, 12-point, and it's Proto Los Angeles. In really nice shape. Needs a little bit of a cleaning. And with it was sitting this 3712, which is the 3/8. Again, Proto Los Angeles. Again, in really nice shape. That's the first of this style of wrench. I'm not sure what they call it. I don't know if it's just a flare nut wrench, just a different style flare nut wrench, or if there's a different name for it. But I've always liked these. I always thought they were cool. I've been wanting them, but I only see them on eBay. There was one set on Marketplace by me, but it's just one of those redirected to eBay listings. And they want $100, I think, for the whole set. And I'm not going to pay that. But to pay $1.50 a piece, I'll buy that. So that's what we found on our trip to Indiana. Let me get this turned back around. All right, guys, so what'd you think? I think I did pretty good. It was a fun trip. I got to see family, hang out with family, and this was all kind of secondary to doing the family stuff. You know, I moved nearly 700 miles away. Don't get to see them as often as I want to, so spending time with them, of course, is the paramount thing to do. But sneaking in some tool time, I'm not going to say no. My sister went with me. My wife went with me too. And we all had a good time. That was 2 days worth of just going around to estate sales, flea markets, and having a good time. I did want to tell you too that Jesse, you're the guy with the maybe box problem. Don't know why I couldn't remember your name, but I kept wanting to think Tony, and I knew it wasn't Tony. I've been, like I said, been binge watching all the stuff I missed over the last week. So it was Jesse. So I think, guys, my favorite has got to be these two. There's a ton of good stuff, though. Take those out of there, I could still have lots of stuff that would definitely be favorites. And a lot of my other tool hauls, whatever. Let me know what your favorite is. Until next time, remember, I'm Burnout. I love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.